Hey guys, just a random video about something random, kind of a reaction to the Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fight, which was a great fight. The only boxing match that I would agree that has ever ended in a draw. But that's not the topic of today's video. What I really wanted to talk about is self-defense and like what is the best martial arts for training the average person if they've never trained in martial arts, so they have a very basic understanding of self-defense. What is the best discipline to study? And this question was kind of prompted to me by my girlfriend. She was saying, well, what would you try? And I was saying, the first thing that popped into my head was judo. And I know there's going to be a lot of people that come out and say, oh, judo's not like a street fight. Judo's not like a street fight. Judo, what, you can't even do. So there's going to be a lot of people that have a lot of things to say about what I say. And I mean, I can't say I've trained in all martial arts because like there's some that are just really weird and you have to go to specific places. But I've trained in a lot, and I've built up a pretty good toolbox of skills. So again, and the reason I'm gonna talk about why judo, and I don't think that judo is the best martial arts, or I wouldn't say specifically only train judo. But if you had to get started with something, the reason why I think judo would be something to get started with is just because of when you're thinking self-defense, you can't really think of it like a boxing match or an MMA fight, because that's not how it's gonna come at you. That's not how violence is, it's not how violence comes at you. So the reason why I think judo, first reason is because most of the time when you're going to be fighting with people in the streets or defending yourself, the person's going to have on clothes. So that's a real reason why you don't see a lot of judo and MMA, and because people don't wear clothes. But when you can grab somebody's jacket or shirt and you can really get a hold of them, like, if they were gis in MMA, the judo guys would really be dominating, because you can get your fingers wrapped in somebody's clothes, and you can, with judo, I can slam you to the ground and run away. Okay? With jiu-jitsu, no, I'm going to be on the ground, we're going to be tussling, I don't know if your friends are coming out of the woodwork, I can slam you to the ground with a judo throw, and I can be gone. I can slam the next guy, I can slam the next guy, and I can keep slamming them until they get the picture that they're going to get slammed and that they don't want to mess with me. And I'm not saying that for me, myself. I'm saying a judo throw is very effective. And another reason why judo is effective is because, well, the reason why I'd say it's more effective to learn than boxing is because, punching somebody out is not easy to do. Somebody's coming at you and you're trying to punch on their head, you're probably going to end up breaking your hands. And that's just not how violence works. Fights in the street, people do not stand and trade punches. It's just not how it happens. The person's going to grab you. 80% of fights go to the clinch, and that's where judo is like, boom, somebody grabs me, trip them right down. And another thing about violence is, most of the time when you're being assaulted by somebody, you already know that person. It's not a random person. So if you already know that person, then you're probably going to end up seeing them again. So if you get to punching on somebody and breaking their face, or they punch on you, a quick judo throw, they're on the ground, they realize, hey, So again, my thesis of this video is just like, why... What somebody who doesn't have any martial arts training or doesn't have any self-defense training, where would they start? I would recommend they start with judo. That's, what I have to say about it. If you have any responses to that, please put them in the comments, or if you have any questions, but again, this all came about, my girlfriend prompted me. She was like, well, what martial art would you train if you were only going to train one? And if I had to put somebody out there and say, okay, if I was training my daughter, what would I train her in? I would train her in judo, because you can sweep a stronger person, you can take down a bigger person. If you're a woman and a guy's coming at you and he's grabbing you, you can throw him and run. That's what you don't want to sit there and try to kickbox with a rapist or a crazed, drugged out person. You don't want to do that, because it's just not going to end well for you. You're going to take damage. You know, it's just ridiculous. Trip them, throw them, sweep them, and run. So I guess this video is more a self-defense. I don't know what you want to call it, but if I had to train my daughter in one thing, I would train her in judo before I train her in jiu-jitsu, before I train her in boxing, even though I'm going to train her in both of those. All of it. It's all it's and another aspect to this video is that never get tied to one discipline, because you know when just take UFC for example, when it first started, and you had guys coming in, single discipline guys, dominated. So I don't know, judo,